I gotta be honest, I think the tables have turned. Sara just came out with a two-part TikTok responding to Ben's post reunion TikTok with more like receipts on the sort of the no at the altar, ghosting at Nashville, that whole thing. And I gotta say, Sara's receipts are pretty compelling. So here's my thoughts. Because look, I inserted myself, at least my opinion, into this whole situation when Ben first made a video, and now I feel obligated to continue talking about it. So here we go. First off, Sara said they both agreed to say no at the altar. Now, this is very, very interesting. And I see in the comments, I don't think enough people actually realize how significant that is to the context of the situation, because Sara happened to be the one who was assigned to give an answer first. But if Ben was assigned to give an answer first, he would have been the one to say no at the altar, which then people wouldn't have been saying, oh, she said no at the altar, and then they kept dating. It would have been, oh, Ben said no at the altar and then wanted to date her more. So it would have been, then at that point, Ben could have looked really bad. Also, you got to think about this. They agreed that they were going to say no at the altar, if we're taking Sara's word for it, and that they were going to then continue dating. Now, if Ben knew that he did not want to continue dating her, I would understand from a strategic sense why he would say, yeah, I want to continue dating and say no at the altar. Because if Ben was to go, if Ben was to say, I don't want to date you after the wedding, then they wouldn't have maybe made it to the altar, or Sara may have gone to production and been like, Ben, I know Ben doesn't want to say no at the altar, in which case they might have made Ben say the answer first. So I gotta say, I think Ben is pretty strategic, because he released these texts without showing a lot of context that Sara did. So I think Ben is strategic. And I don't put it past him to do this, given, some of the stuff I've seen. Then Sara shows a slew of texts before the ones that Ben showed in his TikTok, showing that they clearly were texting I love you, stuff you would only send if you were in a relationship. And then Ben starts the text almost out of a whim, kind of. Almost like he sent the text knowing that they could potentially be receipts. They did text once or twice during the drive, but it does seem like Ben did not call. And then sort of the infamous removing from Find My Friends. By the way, side note, for anybody out there who may end up seeing this and get in a relationship with me, I don't do Find My Friends in a relationship, okay? I'm going to be where I'm going to be. You're going to be where you're going to be. We can turn it on temporarily if, you're going to an area that's dangerous or it's important to check on somebody, but you're not having a fucking tracking device on me, okay? Relax. But I respect couples that do that, and they did that. And he did remove that suddenly, and Sara seemed hurt, and I can totally see why it seemed out of the blue. Okay, in conclusion, I think the thing that is most surprising to me is that Ben is the one that first released the sort of text screenshots in a TikTok, but he very intentionally did not release earlier texts that would have invalidated sort of his story. So Ben kind of took the first move, and then Sara ended up responding. And, it's a bold play of Ben to do that, because he didn't share the full receipts, and Sara just gave more context. Maybe now there are more texts before that Ben could share. I don't know. But at the moment, Sara's receipts, they hit. So I can't believe that I'm making TikToks about this. but I like it. I fucking love it.